Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
We are hours away from a winter storm that will soon start to move across our state. While many of you will get mostly rain, others could see the first accumulating snow of the season. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. We're starting to see a few schools close for tomorrow, mainly in Torrington. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank has been tracking this storm for the last few days. Rachel, this is one of the more difficult storms you've had to track.
Yeah, we're going to see a rain-snow line set up with a very sharp gradient separating a significant amount of snow, amount enough to plow, from little to nothing at all, and just primarily rain. I'm going to show you the snow map in less than a minute, but I wanted to let you know the timing of this. Generally 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., give or take an hour or two in either direction, just to account for where you live. And this alert is mainly for the Northwest Hills, but there could be a few other slippery spots tomorrow morning before that changeover to rain occurs. Again, we're already getting some school cancellations in Litchfield County, and there may be more to come. And if you live in the hills, you'll want to get your snow gear ready as well. The National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory that's in effect for northern Litchfield County, because that's where most of the winter driving is going to be tomorrow. For much of the rest of the state, we are looking at a brief mix transitioning over to rain, or just rain right out of the gate. So you'll see 3 to 6 inches of snow for the northern half of Litchfield County and northwestern Hartford County. But notice, as you come down out of the hills, maybe at the top of Avon Mountain, you're looking at the possibility for 1 to as much as 3 inches of snow. And in the Hartford area, we may get little or nothing, maybe a couple of flakes up to a slushy coating to 1 inch or so. That may end up getting washed away. We also have 1 to 3 towards the Massachusetts border. Very uncertain. Again, it just depends on the timing of that changeover. If we change over faster, we'll be at the lower end of those totals. If it takes a little longer, we'll be on the higher end. Here's a look at some of the moisture heading our way, but our storm hasn't really fully developed just yet. Lows tonight will be in the 20s to right around 30 degrees. It's a cold start to the day tomorrow, but notice temperatures rise, and that will take us from any wintry precipitation over to rain. We're going to talk more about this and really give you a highlight of what it's like along the shoreline, inland, and hills tomorrow, coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, CTDOT spent the day preparing to make sure the roads are safe for you to drive on tomorrow. The mechanics actually started preparing months ago, though, to make sure trucks are ready to go. Today, they made those final preparations. They loaded up the trucks with salt. They fueled up the trucks and made sure crews knew when they might be called in.
So you're going to start seeing our crews stationed all across the state. We do have more than 60 garages strategically located across the state. And as we are looking at the forecast and making those plans, when that precipitation starts to fall, our crews are ready to go, and they're going to be out there on the roads, making sure that the roads are clear and safe for all motorists.
The department's urging people to slow down and give crews the space they need to do their job.
Stay with Fox 61 for the latest on the storm. We have the live radar streaming on Fox 61 Plus, so you can check it at any time as the storm moves our way. Download Fox 61 Plus on your TV and watch for free. Well, there are still lots of questions tonight after a fire damaged a Manchester apartment building over the weekend. Neighbors tell us they are looking for answers about what happened inside the Foster Street complex late Saturday night. The ring of fire, alarms, and abandoned packages are now the only sounds and sights around the building, a stark change from what used to be a busy apartment house. Firefighters say they got 17 tenants out safely, but during those rescues, crews found a body on the 3rd floor. Investigators believe that death is not related to the fire. Police have also taken 1 tenant into custody, someone they believe may have started the fire on the 1st floor. And former residents say the building has a history of disturbances, especially on the upper floors.
I'm sure they're going to investigate it thoroughly, and I'm sure people are going to have the same questions.
They were fighting in the hallways a lot, being drunk.
The Red Cross is helping displaced tenants, and fire and police investigators are working to figure out what led to both the fire and the discovery of that body.
The parents of a 2-year-old boy who died nearly 3 years ago have pleaded guilty to all charges. Edgar Ismael Gomez and Iris Rivera Santos entered pleas in Stamford Superior Court last week. Their son Liam was found buried in Cummings Park in early January of 2023. Detectives say the couple gave inconsistent statements to them during their investigation. They say evidence showed the pair did things that put their son's well-being in danger. To this day, police don't know the exact circumstances of Liam's death. The parents are scheduled to be sentenced in February.
A woman filed a lawsuit against a Bridgeport police officer last week. She's accusing Officer Russell Ouellette of exploiting her while she was seeking protection from domestic violence. The suit says Ouellette responded to several of her 911 calls earlier this year and then repeatedly returned to her home while on duty. The woman says it began as emotional support and then turned into unwanted physical contact and eventually sexual encounters. Court documents say her ring camera caught him kissing her and caught audio during an encounter with his police radio in the background. The woman filed an internal affairs complaint last month and he was placed on modified duty. We reached out to Bridgeport's police department. The chief tells us after they received more details about the allegations, Ouellette was placed on administrative leave. The chief says if the allegations are proven to be true, Ouellette will no longer be employed by Bridgeport police.
A woman's been arrested in connection to a stabbing in Torrington last month. Police say 46-year-old Danielle Van Doren stabbed a 74-year-old woman at a home on Etna Avenue on November 11th. They say Van Doren was experiencing some type of altered mental state and told officers on scene she was told to kill her wife. Van Doren was taken into custody today and was arraigned in Torrington Superior Court. The victim has been released from the hospital and is recovering.
Bristol police identified the man who died in a crash on Black Friday. They say 42-year-old James Amayi Kelly of Andover, Massachusetts, crashed into a utility pole. It happened on Battle Street at James P. Casey Road. Police are asking anyone who witnessed that crash or has video of it to give them a call.
Well, take a look at this video from last night. We got this from East Haven Police. Several people in masks sprayed a police cruiser with a fire extinguisher and then threw it at the vehicle. An officer was inside. Officials tell us that officer wasn't hurt, but police say the group also got on top of the cruiser and kicked it. This happened at the ShopRite Plaza on Foxen Road around 2:30 in the morning. Police were initially called there because of people blocking the road, doing burnouts and setting off fireworks. East Haven police are calling this a targeted act of violence. Investigators are searching for all of those involved. And if you can help, if you saw anything, please contact police.